right, let's get to our morning brief now. Shares of Nvidia, of course, had a huge gain yesterday. They hit an all-time high today. They are little changed. The chipmaker added nearly $184 billion to its market cap in yesterday's session alone. Now that total is $938 billion. It was the third largest market cap gain ever for a stock. But were these big moves a sign of a stock price bubble? Executive editor Brian Sozzi is joining us now. That's what he wrote about this morning.
Yeah, well, I hope this doesn't represent like the market top in Nvidia. Now suddenly we look a year back and Nvidia is 50% lower. But look, we have seen anytime you see a stock price gain more than almost $200 billion in terms of a market cap in a single session, that is just absolutely ginormous.
It's insane.
It is insane. So you get to thinking, is this like the cannabis stock bubble of 2021, early 2022? Is this the tulip bulb? Is this the top? Is it a tulip bulb mania? And what I mentioned in the brief, it's not. And this is something, right? This is something that you and me talked about, Julie, in the newsroom this morning, the other morning. Nvidia is making tangible stuff. They're making chips. You can see and touch their stuff, and they're making things in grand fashion that is getting used by the likes of Meta, many other companies to stand up their artificial intelligence initiative. So that is good stuff. There's strong demand for what they're doing. So that's first. Second of all, you look at CEO Jensen Huang, and Julie, you and Dan Halley, our tech editor, have gotten to know Jensen through a series of interviews through the years. I like that he has stayed measured throughout these past few years. He continues to execute very strongly. How do I know? Past 6 years, Nvidia has hauled in over $40 billion in operating profits. To me, that's a sign of a leadership team staying focused. Despite all the frenzy in the market that's going on around them, they're executing at a very high level. Profitable company, doing tangible stuff, and ultimately they're on the leading edge of technology that's going to help companies do more stuff over the next decade.
And I mean, they were in ChatGPT before we even knew they were involved with ChatGPT. And, you know, the people that we talk to tend to say that, like, they're, in terms of leadership, they're so far out. Second place is you know, a distant second place, like, say, AMD.
What bothers me, let's keep in mind, AMD earnings call about 3 weeks ago, let's say. They went on there and they told the street that we are just now setting up our generative AI team. From an investor standpoint, what wildly two opposingly different stories here. You have an Nvidia already at the leading edge, gaining business from Microsoft or ChatGPT, which is backed by them, and now they're winning large amounts of business while AMD is still trying to play catch up. That's not good.
At the same time, there probably is a bigger investable thesis here. And I was struck by a note out from Citigroup strategists today. First of all, they upgraded overall U.S. stocks to neutral, but they upgraded tech shares to overweight because of AI. And they don't talk about Nvidia specifically because they're strategists, macro strategists. They're looking at the bigger picture. But the quote from that was cited from this really stuck out to me. We would expect that it is too early to fade the moves before AI has even developed far enough to be able to disappoint expectations. I thought that was so interesting. It is such early days here. Now, maybe it's true of Nvidia specifically that it could disappoint expectations. But when we talk to people on the show about this, even people who are steeped in AI, they don't know what's going to happen, right? There's this hope and there's our imagination, and there are some concrete things that the likes of Nvidia and their clients are doing, but really we don't fully understand what the capacity or not of this is going to be.
And the street doesn't understand. Look at that guidance that Nvidia came out with. The street was at $7.2 billion. They came out $11 billion. I have not seen that type of just disparity in terms of guidance in many, many, many years. It tells me very strong demand. But the other way to read this, and I think this is what Citi is trying to say, for all these generative AI chips that Nvidia is selling, look at a Meta. They're using those chips to stand up their own AI initiatives. What does that mean? Maybe fewer workers and bigger profits. I think that's part of the play here for Citigroup.
But I also wonder if they were trying to throw water on the potential for another kind of dot-com bubble, you know, where we went through that before. But I don't think that's Nvidia's
This
problem,
isn't normal.
Obviously.
This is not normal. I want to be very clear. This is not normal to see a company gain over almost $200 billion in market cap in a single session. An investor, you know, I encourage you, go to Yahoo Finance, go to our stats page on Nvidia, and you will see this stock trading at record level valuations. What does that mean? Every single quarter now for Nvidia for the next 5 to 10 years has to be extremely strong, has to show accelerating growth rates in sales and profit. And if they don't, this stock's coming back down.
Just one footnote to all of this. There is one big investor that did not benefit, who has been a long time
Kathy
booster.
Wood, right?
Kathy Wood.
Yes.
Her flagship ARK benchmark fund got out of Nvidia back in January. She holds it in some of her other funds. She has been a big supporter of the stock for years and years and years. So it's interesting that she stepped out. She had made some comments about its valuation.
Yeah.
So
I don't get this call. Kathy, I very much appreciate what she does, but if you were betting on the future of everything in tech, how do you not stay long Nvidia? Nvidia is driving these things.
Maybe she'll wait for a drop and get back in. I don't know.
We'll see.